Hi everyone, welcome to lesson 1 in the Financial Maths 5.2 series. We will be looking at percentages today and compound interest. Question 1, find 10% of 200. And question 2 is find 20% of 200. Try these questions, pause the video and then check in just to make sure you did it correctly. So for 10% of 200, we've got 10 over 100. Percent means per century, per 100. And we times it by 200, so we get 20. So you can see the 10 goes on top of the fraction. Percent means out of 100, and we times by 200. So for question 2, 20 over 100 times 200 is 40. Now try question 3 and 4. Pause the video and then I'll go through the answers. So this time around we're increasing 200 by 10%. So we just found 10% of 200, so we need to go 200 plus 20. So we get 220. Question 4, same kind of process, increase 200 by 20%, which we've done here. So we've got 200 plus 40 is 240. The examples today are here. Find or calculate the amount a $3,000 investment will be worth after 2 years with 10% per annum interest. So per annum means per year. And it's compounding every year, compounding yearly. So what this means is we find 10% of 3,000. So 3,000 times 10% is 300. And then we add the 300 to 3,000. So we're actually increasing 3,000 by 10%, which is 3,300. So the year 1 interest was 300, and the amount of the investment after 1 year is 3,300. Up here for the second year, so we've got this new amount, and we need to increase it by 10% as well. So step 1, find 10% of 3,300, which is 330. And then add that on to 3,300. So we get 3,630. And I've got a little note here to say that the total interest is 300 plus 330, which is $630. Question 5, try this question, same process as before. Pause the video, try it, and then check in to make sure you got it right. So find the amount of a $4,000 investment, how much it will be worth after 2 years, and with 10% per annum interest. And again, compound interest, compounding yearly. So pause the video and then check back in. The year 1 interest is 4,000 times 10%, which is 400. Add that number on, and you get 4,400. For year 2, 4,400 times 10% is 440. Add that on to 4,400 and you get 4,840. So the amount is 4,000 turns into 4,840 with interest. More examples. So this is for compound interest, which is what we've just been finding, but there is a formula to do it as well. So rather than finding the 10% added on, find 10% added on, we can just use this rule. We actually talked about this process in the 5.1 videos. So A is the amount, P is the principal, R is the interest rate per compounding period as a decimal, and N is the number of compounding periods. And again, the interest is the amount minus the principal. So we'll look at the previous example, but using the rule. So we've got 3,000 invested for 2 years with 10% per annum interest. So if we use this rule, we go straight to the amount. 3,000, 1 plus 10 over 100 squared. So if we type that into our calculator, 3,000 times 1 plus 10 over 100 to the power of 2 equals 3,630. That's where this number comes from. And again, if you're asked to find the interest, which we're actually not in this question, but if you were, 3,600 minus what we started with, the principal amount. So the interest is 630 used. Time for you to have a try. So find the amount of 4,000 invested for 2 years with 10% per annum interest. So the solution is 4,000, 1 plus 10 over 100 to the power of 2, which is 4,840. And that is the amount. If we're asked for the interest, which we weren't, we would do this step as well.